Good evening, Paul Delmerico. I'm giving you an evening update for October 24th. I just want to touch on the priority areas that I discussed today in this morning's briefing. We did have a concern here in Structure Pingray, the south flank of Branch 3, right in this area in here, the communities of Glen Haven, the Retreat, Cedar Park, etc. Over to here to Estes Park, we had a concern with the fire moving and impacting the community here. I'll start with Structure Pingray. We had a lot of folks in here today assessing that, looking in the communities and looking in the infrastructure in here. Most of the activity was just south of Comanche Peak in this area here, no factor to any of our containment lines or infrastructure in Pingray Park. Got a little hot, got in an unburned island, and in some areas in here, we did discuss that over the last few briefings about this being a concern for somewhat long-term until we get significant precipitation, but it was no factor to any of our infrastructure or to our firefighters or to any of our operation in this area. Moving over down into the area of Branch 3, what we call Division Yankee and X-Ray, Cedar Park, the Retreat, Storm Mountain, all of this in here went really well today. We continued, this all held. This operation here where we burned off the dozer line to deflect that yesterday, and yesterday's operation held, no issues. The fire did back down on some spots to County Road 43, no issues there. Where we had some trouble today, a little bit of a firefight, what we like to say is the fire did come down the Glen slop south of the North Fork Trail about a mile and a half. And you're looking at about another additional 700 acres of fire or so is what we're estimating. It did get established in here for a bit. We did have a concern as the fire making a run towards Glen Haven. We did get some folks in there. We were able to get some aircraft for a short period of time today in there to do some bucket drops. And currently the last report I got was the fire was still 2 miles west of Glen Haven. And we were receiving light precipitation in the area. In the form of rain and a little bit and some snow mix. So that's some really good news for these folks. And fire behavior is beginning to moderate. So we're feeling really good about where we're at here. There's still a lot of work to do, and we're going to be working 24 hours around the clock. But a lot of good work's been done in here today, especially with the red flag conditions and 60 to 70 mile an hour winds across the fire. Now going down into Estes Park, this did wake up this morning. The fire picked up significantly. We had low RHs last night, and we had high winds starting about midnight. The fire growth was significant today in this area, and it did something like this, where it ran southeast and it went northeast. Our firefighters, and I talked a little bit this morning about what I call the catcher's mitt, and the fuels treatments that the park has done in here. That helped significantly. Those fuels treatments are really what gave us a really good defensive start to our day today when we saw that. It gave us something to work off of and to build off of. So our folks were able to, today the fire made a run just north of Moraine Park, a little finger. And so our firefighters picked up that indirect line and did a firing operation and held it just north of Moraine Park. And then we had a couple of hand crews in there today, and we picked that up with direct hand line. We're able to go up and over the ridge and back down and tie it into existing road systems. And currently, right in this area in here, the fire has been, for the most part, is moderated. They are receiving light precipitation in the area. And so far, I guess what I'm trying to say is so far, so good. We still got a firefight in there. Our folks will be in there all night long, all day tomorrow, and we'll continue to be in this area. But I wanted to let folks know and have this update this evening to let you know our firefighters out there are doing a heck of a job. And we've had a really good day today, considering the conditions that we're in, the fuels conditions, the weather conditions, and whatnot. And I've articulated this, and I will continue to. And a lot of these areas, especially now down here with the topography and in Structure Pingray, the only thing that's going to mitigate this fire spread and the imminent threats to all these infrastructures is going to be significant precipitation. They are calling for up to a foot of snow in some of the higher elevations tonight. And down to 7 inches here in Loveland, and that's going to help us tremendously. Thank you and have a good evening.